Stadium. You look down there, Brand. We'll take a look at the starters in tonight's ball game. We'll start off with the offensive units first of all tonight. For the Sacred Heart Irish tonight, they will start at quarterback, 180-pound senior Kent Kanabe. At fullback, 175-pound senior Jeff Shawong. At halfback, 180-pound senior Steve Simon. Left guard starter will be 180-pound senior Brandon Deerfeld. At the right guard tonight, Matt Bletcher, a 228-pound junior. And at center, Tom Becker, 165-pound senior. Adam Freschel will start at one end, 155-pound senior. And Josh Leminski will start at the other end, 165-pound senior also. And, of course, we will have Jared Kirkendall alternating plays in for the Irish with Sleminski at end.
Now looking at the offensive starters for the Palmer Tigers, as we said, they're 12-0 coming into tonight's ball game, coached by head coach Eldon Marsh. They'll be starting at quarterback Clayton Glaus. Glaus is a senior, weighs 160 pounds. The fullback will be Tony Davis. Davis, a junior, at 190. At one of the halfbacks, Randy Spellbrink is expected to start. He's a senior, 170. Should he not be able to go because of the injury, then it would be Todd Peters, a 160-pound sophomore. At the right end will be Ken Peters. He's a senior at 160. The left end will be Brian Tibbetts. Tibbetts, a junior, weighs 170 pounds. At the guard positions, Dustin Saunders will start at one of the guards, a 165-pound junior. The right guard will be Dave Samuelson. He's a senior at 170. And starting at the center for Palmer will be a junior, Mike O'Hearn. He's a big boy, weighs 215 pounds.
Taking a look at the defensive units here this evening. For the Irish tonight, they will start at nose guard, Brandon Deerfeld. At defensive end, Tom Becker will start along with Adam Freschel. The outside linebacker, Steve Simon and Josh Leminski. At middle linebacker, Matt Bletcher. Jeff Shawong and Jared Kirkendall will be the safeties. Bart Keller will also be in there, probably see plenty of action at nose guard, as well as Chris Darnell also in there at safety tonight for the Irish.
Now to take a look at the defensive starters again for the Palmer Tigers. At the nose guard, Dave Samuelson, a senior, 170. The ends will be Todd Peters and Brian Tibbetts. Peters, a 160-pound sophomore. Tibbetts, a junior, at 170. The linebackers, Dustin Sanders, a 165-pound junior, and Tony Davis, he's a junior, at 190. The cornerbacks, Ken Peters, a senior, weighs 160. Clayton Glaus starts at a quarterback, at the cornerback, that is, a senior at 160 pounds. And Devon Kurz will start at the safety, a junior, 145 pounds. Johns, as you see a lot in 8-man football, a lot of these athletes going both ways.
That'll be a tradition, 8-man, and even in the Class B ball we see around here, a lot of the kids go both ways. So very nice night to play football. It's going to be cool. Shouldn't be any problem whatsoever, other than maybe a few of the injuries cropping up through the ball game.
John, we should point out the reason for the lengthy introduction of starters is the fact that the public address announcer taking the opportunity here tonight to introduce each and every player on both teams, and that's kind of a neat touch. If you reach the state championship, whether you're a senior starting at quarterback or a freshman who hasn't played much all year, you've worked hard, you've earned your way to be here. I think it's neat that the kids get to receive that recognition of being introduced individually.
We are introducing the Sacred Heart Irish right now, and we will take another 60-second break, and we'll be back and look at some of the things the Irish have done through this football season right after this.
Ready to do some painting in your home, and you're looking for a quality paint to do the job? Well, at Sherman Hills, we have a new paint that gives you everything you expect.
Starting at defensive end, number 35, senior Adam Freschel.
These are interesting numbers, I thought. Simon, that's punt returns, kick returns, rushing, receiving, and his pass attempts. And here's Shawong. Same thing, except doesn't have any pass attempts. And that's over 4 years.
Starting at nose guard, number 52, a senior, Brandon Deerfeld.
Let me introduce you to this in a minute. I'll come around to it, and then you share it with
them. Look at the defense. Here's the defense if you want to run through that, too.
Okay.
Number 62, Kevin Cook.
No hidden charges. For a tour and more information, phone 245-5252 in Falls City, Nebraska.
A freshman.
And once again, welcome back to Jug Brown Stadium this evening.
John, you were looking at some numbers here, sharing them with me during that timeout, and it's really remarkable. Something that's interesting to point out to our listeners, and that is the accomplishments that the big offensive guns, Steve Simon and Jeff Schwang, have been able to, the numbers they've been able to accumulate over the past 3 seasons.
Well, Randy, one of the things, stats don't mean anybody to people except people like you and me and some of the coaches that look at these stats, and maybe that's all they have to look at for recruiting purposes sometimes. Steve Simon, in his 4-year career, he played quite a bit as a freshman. In fact, he was a starter at running back his freshman year. Simon now 4,426 yards rushing. But overall, running the ball, returning kicks, returning punts, even some pass attempts, Steve Simon has accounted for 6,980 total yards in the past 4 years. And every time he touches the ball for Sacred Heart, over the 4 years, he's averaged 10.2 yards gained. Now you look at Jeff Schwang, they go, oh, Simon's the best back they got. Well, Jeff Schwang, in the 3 years, he didn't play a lot as a freshman. Jeff Schwang has accounted for 4,270 yards. Every time Jeff touches the ball, he averages 10.5 yards every time he touches the ball.
Can you imagine that? Steve Simon averaging 10.2 yards each time he lays his hands on the football. So then you turn to Schwang and 10.5 yards. I wonder if that's a record that's ever been equaled by 2 running backs on the same football team.
Well, you certainly wouldn't think so. That's just tremendous, 65. So if he gets 7 touchdowns, he's going to break a scoring record too.
John, we're getting set for the flip of the coin here to start this evening's football game. And as they do that, we'd like to remind everyone that this is the first half of a football doubleheader this weekend here on KTNC. Don't forget, that's right, a tripleheader. You're going to throw the Chiefs at me. But tomorrow afternoon, we'll be at Peru on the Bobcat Football Network. The Peru State Bobcats playing in the first round of the NAIA Division II National Playoffs. They'll be hosting the University of Wisconsin lacrosse. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff. We've got a pregame at 12:25 tomorrow afternoon, John. I'll tell you, I'm excited about this one, but it just carries right on into tomorrow afternoon. That's going to be a big football game at Peru tomorrow afternoon, John.
Well, I'm watching the flip of the coin out here, and
They lost it.
I don't know what happened. I don't know if they hit the ground here. Now we're going to get an explanation here. Right, I just noticed something. It probably won't make a bit of difference in the world. In my lifetime, I've been fortunate enough, I've never had to wear glasses. I see the quarterback for Palmer.
On the left, of course, will be Jeff Schwang. Here to call the play-by-play for you, John Nixon.
Okay, thank you, Randy. And kicking the football off will be Clayton Glaus, the quarterback for Palmer this evening. There is absolutely no wind. Temperature-wise, if you're playing football, it's absolutely perfect. If you're sitting down in the stands, you might be just a tad chilly, but I think you'll warm up here in about 30 seconds probably. We're ready to roll, and here comes Glaus. He hits the ball, and he hits a low line drive. It bounces at the 10, and it's going to come down. The ball is in the end zone. Schwang finally picks it up, but it'll be a touchback, and the Irish will have it 1st and 10 at their own 15.
Well, a moment's hesitation there right near the goal line. Finally, Schwang picked the football up and started up the field with it, but the officials say it was down in the end zone, so they will bring it out to the 15. That's where the Irish will have it. They'll start 1st and 10.
Sacred Heart will come over the ball, and they will line it up, probably in the I formation. Sometimes they'll split the backs, come out first play of the ball game. Simon goes out to a wide split. He comes in motion to the right side. Hand the ball right up the middle. Schwang. Schwang is hit and hit hard right at about the 17.
Well, it was the defensive tackle on the left side making the first contact with him, Ken Peters. Peters got his shoulder into Schwang and dropped him after a gain of a couple, John. It'll bring up 2nd down, about 8 yards to go.
Well, this Palmer defense will probably be the toughest defense the Irish have faced this year. At least that's the word we got from Mark Smith last week, the St. Edward coach we visited with at halftime. Now we come over the ball, 2nd down. Clock says 9. We'll go with that I formation. Hand the ball, Simon over the left side. Simon, and the ball's loose. The ball is loose. Palmer got it inside the 20.
Coming up with the fumble recovery there for Palmer, number 9, Devon Kurz, the defensive end on the right side. Kurz made the hit on him, or at least came up to put the secondary hit on, jarred the ball loose, and then recovered the fumble. There's the first big break of the ball game. 1st and 10, Palmer at the 19-yard line of the Irish.
The ball moved out to the 19-yard line and a fumble on the play, so Sacred Heart in a hole. Now Glaus brings his team over the ball. They line up, they split the backs. Glaus turns, he gives the ball to Spellbrink, and Spellbrink is hit right about the line of scrimmage, and he'll lean forward maybe for about a yard.
Steve Simon, the first man to wrap Spellbrink up, had him around the ankles and drug him down. He's going to get about 2 on the spot of the football, John, so it's going to bring up 2nd down, 8 yards to go. The new line of scrimmage now at the 17-yard line.
Well, we come right back over the football immediately. Line it up this time in an I formation for the Palmer Tigers. Glaus, the senior quarterback, calls the snap count. He turns, he fakes to Tony Davis, he throws, and the ball was tipped up by Adam Freschel and knocked down.
I'll tell you, Freschel did as good a job as you could ask a defensive end to do there, John. Got in front of the quarterback, timed his jump, went up in the air and just batted the football right back in the quarterback's face. Pass falls incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down, 8 yards to go.
Coleridge had a very good passing game, we thought, headed into last week's semifinal game, but the Irish shut them down, only allowed them to complete 2 passes all night, one of those actually a lateral, so their pass defense has been very good. Split the backs on 3rd down and 8. Glaus calls the snap. He turns, he looks. Misdirection play. He hands the ball off to Tony Davis, and Davis will be down to about the 15-yard line.
Well, Brandon Deerfeld, actually the player that tripped him up. Deerfeld had him around the shoestrings there and dropped him. A number of other Irish players came up to put the finishing touches on, but it was Deerfeld that took him off his feet. It'll bring up a 4th down and a long 6, almost 7 yards to go now. The football spotted at about the 16-yard line of the Irish.
4th down, 7 yards to go. They line it up in another I formation set. Tight ends on either side. Glaus drops straight back. He looks, he throws, he is complete. 1st down yardage and more inside the 10.
The football is going to be marked right at about the 6 or 7 yard line where they knocked him out of bounds, making the stop on him. Jared Kirkendall came across and drove him out of bounds, but it'll be a 1st and goal for the Tigers.
Pass caught that time by Ken Peters of Palmer. He's their big receiver that does such a good job. A gain on the play of about 9 yards and a 1st down. And Palmer threatening, split the backs. Glaus, scissors play, gives the ball to Davis. Davis down inside the 5 to about the 4.
Again, Matt Bletcher leading the tackle for the Irish that time. Bletcher just reached out as he went by and drug him down. Also in on the stop was Josh Sleminski.
Well, they've used a little scissors play. If you've listened along all year, that has been a favorite play of the Fall City Dawson Verdon Tigers. Same kind of motion. They fake to one back and the other back crosses behind him and they give him the football. Peters in there at one back now. And also in there is Davis. Glaus, they give to Davis, and he's up near the goal line. He'll be brought down a yard short.
Josh Sleminski, the first man to hit Davis as he tried to run off the left side. Also coming up and getting in on the tackle was Jeff Shawong.
Pick up, looks like about 3 yards, maybe 2 on the play. Call him down right at the 2-yard line. Spot him down at the 2-yard line. Randy, I think we've got a change. Yes, we do in the backfield. In there, number 30, Todd Peters. So Spellbrink is out of the ball game. Quarterback keeps it, and he is in for a touchdown. 6-0. Palmer takes the lead after the fumble recovery at the Irish 19-yard line, and they jump out to a 6-0 lead over the Irish.
Well, the quarterback, Clayton Glaus, carried that one in from 2 yards out on a quarterback sneak. The drive covered 19 yards. They started at the 19-yard line on the scoring drive.
9:05 left to go here in the first quarter. The officials will move the ball up to the extra point try. They'll try for the 2-point conversion. Davis, the fullback. Peters now at halfback. Glaus calls the snap. I formation, option right. He looks to throw. He passes. It is good. Pass completed over there to number 40. That is Peters again. Ken Peters catches it. It's 8-0 Palmer, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. Well, it wasn't a very good start.
Dr. David Borg and employees are supportive of the youth in the area. Wishing them luck.
Well, a tough start for the Sacred Heart Irish. They're down 8-0 with 9:05 to play in the first quarter, following a fumble at their own 19-yard line.
John, that scoring drive took 7 plays, covered 19 yards. The score coming with 9:05 to play here in the first period. The score 8-0.
Glaus approaches the ball. He kicks it high and deep, and it comes down a yard deep in the end zone. Schwong did all he could to jump at the goal line and come up with the ball, but it got too deep on him.
So the Sacred Heart Irish will take over again at their own 15-yard line. That's where they'll have it 1st and 10. You know, the folks at Elliott Realty Associates are happy to bring you football coverage, just as they bring you coverage of insurance for family, farm, and business. That's Elliott Realty Associates in Fall City.
I formation for the Irish. Kent Kanabe will call the snap count. Kent turns, he gives to Simon. Simon spins out of one tackle, and he's going to be dropped short after a couple of yards on the play.
John, I'm impressed by this Palmer defense and what we've seen of them so far. Leading the stop was Tony Davis that time, the linebacker on the left side, and they're tough in the middle there.
Gain of a yard on the play for Steve Simon. Of course, they say they're going to key on Steve Simon, and they say, well, we're going to put 3 or 4 guys on Simon. Well, that's going to be very tough to do in 8-man football, so probably not that many players to put on him, but still, they're going to key on him. Pitch play to Simon, runs the right side, gets a good block. He sheds a tackle. He breaks another tackle. He's out across the 25, first down yardage.
Well, Simon picks up the first down yardage before being stopped by Todd Peters, but we should point out that Brian Tibbetts and Tony Davis both had a shot at him, and Simon broke those tackles, getting the ball across the 25, spotted at the 26-yard line. First and 10 now for the Irish.
Pick up a 10 yards for Steve Simon on the play. Last week, it was a very rough football game with Coleridge, and Steve, he got really took that to heart. He was a little upset a few times and really ran hard, and I think he'll run real hard here tonight as well. Hand the ball off. No, Kanabe keeps it. The ball's loose, and I think the Irish got back on it.
Well, another near disaster for Sacred Heart. Kanabe handed the ball or faked the handoff to his fullback, Shawang, then decided to pull it out, keep it himself. The ball popped up loose. Fortunately, the trailing back, Steve Simon, was there to make the fumble recovery at the 26, back at the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up second down and 10 now for Sacred Heart.
Kent wanted to pitch that ball late, just couldn't get the ball off, but he had it in one hand and it slipped out of there. Now we've got second down and 10 for the Irish again. I formation. Simon the top of the I. Kanabe back. He looks. He fires underneath. Pass is over the head of Adam Freschel, too high.
Freschel, the intended receiver, out at the 38-yard line. Back there on the defense was the cornerback, Ken Peters. Peters had him pretty well covered, was running right with Freschel, but pass slightly overthrown.
Palmer has 24 interceptions defensively this year. That's quite a number. Actually, they get teams down early and they force them into passing situations, much the way Sacred Heart has done at times this year. So it brings up third down and 10, another passing situation. We'll wait and see. 34 defense by Palmer. Kanabe drops straight back. He looks, he fires long. He's got Simon and just out of his reach at the 15-yard line.
Well, Simon had gotten in behind the defensive coverage. Back there with him on the defense was Devon Kurz, but the pass just slightly overthrown. Had Simon had one more step, I think he'd have been gone on that, and it's going to bring up fourth down and 10. The folks at the Falls City Community Hospital, that is, remind you that your health care is the most important concern of your hospital. That's the Falls City Community Hospital.
Back deep to receive the punt is Ken Peters and Tony Davis. Chris Darnell in punt formation for the Irish. The punt is away, and that's a much better effort than he got off last week. The ball's fumbled, but they fall right. Davis fell right back on the football.
I'll tell you, Tony Davis dropped that ball. Fortunately for him, it went right down between his legs. Josh Leminski went right over the top of Davis, and he was on top of him the moment the ball popped up loose. But Tony Davis gets the recovery for Palmer. The Tigers will work first and 10, starting from inside their own 25-yard line.
Chris Darnell had a tough time punting up there in that cold weather the other night, but he got that one off very well and got a good kick out of it. We've got a split man to the right side, one lone setback this time. Glaus will call the snap. Davis comes in motion, pitch the ball out, and running the football is Randy Spellbrink, and he'll be up to the 25.
Spellbrink will get a couple of yards just out across the 25 before he's dropped there. On the bottom of the stack, leading the tackle, Jeff Shawang for the Sacred Heart Irish. 6:54 to play in the first period. Sacred Heart trails 8-0. If you're just tuning in, the Palmer Tigers have the football, second down, 9 yards to go, their own 26-yard line.
6:46 left, and the clock starts to wind down now here in the first period. Davis again will split out wide to the right. Spellbrink, the lone setback in there. The end's in tight. Glaus calls the snap count on second down and 8. Looks over the defense. He drops straight back. He fires underneath. He's got Peters again for a first down. It's going to be close to a first down.
Peters knocked out of bounds that time by Sacred Heart's Jared Kirkendall. Kirkendall over there on the defensive coverage, running him out of bounds short of the first down yardage, I believe, John. The football is at about the 33-yard line. It's going to bring up third down and a good long yard to go.
Very interesting play. It looks like Mr. Peters is going to indeed be very tough to cover, just as we suspected. Sneaking off of that offensive line. Split the backs this time on third down and a long one. Turn, give the ball off to Davis. Davis, and he was just a step away from going a long ways. He'll have the first down out across the 35 to the 37.
Reaching in and making the tackle was Tom Becker. Becker just wrapped him up around the ankles and then held on, waiting for Davis to lunge forward for the first down yardage. Mers Farm Equipment is your Massey Ferguson dealer. They're ready to make a deal with you. So stop by Mers Farm Equipment in Falls City on Highway 73 North.
Gain of about 4 on the previous play. Spot the ball at the 37-yard line. Glaus turns. He gives to Spellbrink. Spellbrink goes to the right, and he is hit by the entire defensive unit of the Sacred Heart Irish.
Hard to single out an individual Irish there to make the tackle. We do see getting up off the bottom of the stack, Matt Bletcher. Also in on the tackle underneath, of course, Steve Simon. Very little gain, if any, on that play. Second down, we're still going to call it 10 yards to go.
Glaus will call the play in the huddle. Look over the Irish defense as they come up to the line. They have seen this 3-3 defense before. Now he split the back, 2nd and 10. Glaus looking around, the ball's in the middle of the field. He turns, he fakes the pitch. He's got pressure, he throws the ball. It is up for grabs. And Peters, he almost made a tremendous grab.
Well, back there on the pass defense, Jeff Schwang was back along with Jared Kirkendall. It looked like Schwang had the best shot at catching the football. Then Peters nearly got the reception. But you know, the key to the whole thing is back upfield, Adam Freschel putting all kinds of pressure on the quarterback, Glaus.
Well, Peters went up and almost stole that ball away from Schwang, and again, he was behind the defense, so he was open. Apparently pretty good speed. I don't get to watch those receivers go down the field, but I can see when they're open down there. Davis will split out wide to the right this time. Lone set back in there at the fullback spot. Glaus calls the snap. Davis comes motion. Pass coming. The throw is complete. No, incomplete. And Jared Kirkendall on the coverage.
Ken Peters, the intended receiver, and Kirkendall, John, timed his hit just right that time. As the football arrived, so did Kirkendall. Knocked the ball loose. It falls incomplete. It'll bring up a punting situation now for Palmer. The line of scrimmage, their own 38-yard line, 4th down and 10.
And let's see who the punter is. Number 7, that's Spellbrink. He gets a pretty good snap, and he hits it high. Not a very long kick. Simon elects to let it fall. It bounced right to him. He gets away from one man, away from two, and he's going to be back up to about the 20-yard line.
I'll tell you, Steve Simon got a 5-yard return of that punt, but those were 5 very well-earned yards as he was tackled there finally by Brian Tibbetts. Simon took 3 or 4 shots just breaking tackles to get the 5 yards that he did on the return. Harold Pritchard, the attorney at law in Fall City, is happy to be a part of tonight's broadcast. That's Harold Pritchard in Fall City.
8-0 Palmer leads, 5:09 to play in the first quarter. Jared Kirkendall comes split wide to the right side on 1st and 10. The ball is on the 20-yard line. I formation. Give the ball Schwang. Schwang breaks inside. He's out across the 35 and out to the 37-yard line.
Schwang running off the right side. Got a super block from Jared Kirkendall that time. Kirkendall threw the block that got him the extra 10 yards when he got down the right sideline. Finally coming up to make the tackle on him. And leading the stop there was Ken Peters for Palmer. But it's enough for a 1st and 10. The football now at the 37-yard line of the Irish. 4:48 to play first period. 8-0 Sacred Heart Trails.
Well, maybe that'll be an indication of things to come, because if they're going to key on Simon, it may be just like last year at Butte where Schwang will have a 180-yard night. Give the ball to Simon. Simon up near the 40-yard line where he's hit, and he'll be dropped.
Well, John, they said they were going to key on Simon and hit him with 2 or 3 people every time, and that's exactly what they're doing there. Leading the tackle that time was Tony Davis along with Ken Peters, but 2 other Tigers right on top of Simon as he hit the line of scrimmage. Steve with a gain of 3 yards on the play. Call it 2nd down and 7. The football at the midfield stripe, the 40-yard line.
I set once again for the Irish. It's on the right side, hash mark. Kanabi option, left side, gives to Schwang. Schwang pulling straight forward. He'll have another 1st down over the left side.
Well, Schwang starting to run that punishing type football that time. Tony Davis and Randy Spellbrink teamed up to get the tackle, but I'm telling you, Randy Spellbrink got the worst end of that one. Schwang kind of unloaded on him down there at the 32-yard line and sent Spellbrink sprawling on the grass.
8 yards and a 1st down for the Irish senior fullback. Continue your education at Southeast Community College. The Milford campus is the home of General Motors Training Center and the John Deere Ag Tech program. Split the backs now. Kanabi turns. He gives the ball to Simon, and Simon is brought down by Peters.
Ken Peters with just an excellent defensive play. One-on-one with Steve Simon, and Peters stood his ground and made the tackle on Simon. Not before Steve got a gain of a yard, but had it not been for that tackle by Peters, Steve was off to the races.
That was a great tackle to get him around the legs and bring him down like that. Ken Peters, a very good ball player. 2nd down, 9 yards to go. Split the backs now. Jared Kirkendall, Adam Freschel, the ends, in tight. Turn, give the ball. Kanabi keeps it on an option. Pitches to Simon. Simon down the sideline and in down to about the 20. No, it's Jeff Schwang with the football.
I'll tell you have to describe that play. The quarterback faked the football to the running back coming into the line, faked that, then pulled it out and kept it himself. He faked into Simon, kept the football, looked like he was going to run it himself. At the last instant, pitched it out there, and a good side run down the sideline, clear to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
About 7 yards again for Schwang. It'll bring up 1st and 10. Well, he got more than 7 yards then. Turn, give the ball to Simon. Simon dances inside, and he'll have good yardage straight up the gut.
John, have you noticed the hole starting to open up in that Palmer defensive line? Give credit to the offensive linemen for Sacred Heart. They're starting to win the battle up front, and you can see that by the running room that the Irish have the last couple of snaps.
Simon on that play will pick up about 6 yards. Shawong got 12 on the previous play. I knew I'd figure it out eventually. 2.5 to play. Simon comes in motion from the right to the left. Give the ball, Shawong over the left side. Jeff will be, the ball's loose. Palmer has it in the air. Somehow that ball popped straight up in the air, and Palmer ended up with the football.
Well, John, I happen to have an eye right on what was taking place that time, and the defensive man, Dave Samuelson, was making no effort at all to try and tackle the ball carrier. He just went after the football and literally pulled it right out of there. It popped up in the air, then he grabbed the football. Samuelson just pirated that football away from the Irish running back. So there's another tough break for Sacred Heart. They turn it over at the 17-yard line of Palmer. The Tigers will have it 1st and 10 with 2:23 to play in the first period. 8-0, Palmer leads it.
Palmer at their own 17. Glaus will call the snap count. I formation now. He turns. He looks to throw. The pass is complete. Man, what a hit by Kirkendall.
Kirkendall is coming up quickly and putting the pop on him, but the thing is they're playing far enough off of Ken Peters that Peters is making the reception, getting about 6 yards before Kirkendall reacts and knocks him to the turf.
Another catch for Ken Peters. That's number 3 on the night. He's caught 10 balls the last 2 games for 250 yards and 4 touchdowns. Do they go to anybody else? Well, not yet. Minute 53, clock winding. The ball's loose, and Palmer gets back on the football.
Well, John, you wonder what the problem is with hanging on to the football out there. Everybody having trouble hanging on to it. It's not that cold. Brandon Deerfeld came very close to recovering that fumble for the Irish, but Palmer got back on it. Pepsi-Cola Bottling in Humboldt is supportive of the youth in the area, and they're shouting tonight for the Irish. That's the Pepsi distributor in Humboldt, Nebraska.
No gain on the play. We'll call it about 3rd and a long 6. I formation. Spellbrink is in there at I back now. He's the senior, the team's leading rusher with the thigh bruise. Glaus will call the snap count. It's a long count. He turns. He looks. He wants to throw. He's got a man open down the middle. The coverage comes up. And the ball knocked loose again by Shawong.
Intended for Peters. Shawong was right there. Now that time the Irish had pretty good coverage back there. Jared Kirkendall and Shawong had him front and back. He was covered all the way around, and Shawong very close to getting the interception.
4th down now, about 5 yards to go for Palmer. Shawong and Simon drop back to receive the punt. Spellbrink in punt formation. Good snap. The kick is off. It's straight up. Somebody might have got a piece of it. It comes down, fair catch called for by the up man, Josh Sleminski.
Now a flag is thrown in. Sleminski made the fair catch and then got popped over there, and they'll call the Palmer Tigers, I believe, for hitting him after he made the fair catch.
Josh caught the ball right at the Palmer 35. Now apparently, Randy, somebody must have got a little bit of a hand on that football to go straight up like that.
Tom Becker, number 80, the man that came in there, I believe, and got the hand on the football. At least he was the closest one to it. And there's a break for Sacred Heart. This all happens with 1 minute and 3 seconds to play in the first period. If you just happen to be tuning in, this is the state championship 8-man Class D2 game, and the Irish are trailing 8-0. Bangor Brothers Repair is located 9 miles northeast of Fall City. They're experienced and qualified in mechanical repairs, including diesel, agricultural, and industrial.
Sacred Heart will have the ball 1st down and 10 at the Palmer 20-yard line after the 15-yard personal foul infraction. And Sacred Heart now has a break, and they want to stick it in right here. They've moved the ball, but they haven't been able to get in the end zone. Pitch play to Simon running the right side. He cuts to the left. Flags go down. Simon shakes the tackler, and he'll be picking up a 1st down, but a flag down.
You know, Randy Spellbrink just accomplished something we haven't seen a lot of this season, and that was another one-on-one tackle with Steve Simon. I've been impressed with the Palmer defense here. I believe what happened there is Simon reversed his field, went back the other way. We got the flag. Most likely that's going to be holding, John.
Holding will be the first indication we get here, so that will move the ball back to a 1st and 20 situation, back to the 30.
For gas, snacks, and your beverage needs, stop by the 6 Mile Gas and Mart, located a mile north of the Dawson Corner. They also have tank delivery service. That's the 6 Mile Gas and Mart.
So it'll bring up 1st and 20 now for the Irish. So the we look it over and we see that Simon is going to be able to break free. Somebody reversed his field there. 1st and 20, option right side. Ken Kanabi puts his head down, and he'll pick up about 4 yards on the play.
Well, Kanabe tried to run right into the heart of that Palmer defense, and he was met there by Tony Davis and Brian Tibbetts. They team up to make the tackle on him. Mark it as a gain of about 3 yards on the play. It's still going to bring up second down and long, about 17 yards to go.
Well, we'll probably get one more play off here in the first quarter as we're under 30 seconds to go. 8-0, Palmer with the lead. The Irish have moved the ball down a couple of times, this drive counting in those two. Jared Kirkendall splits out wide to the right, eye set for the Irish. Kanabe back, he looks, pressure, he throws underneath, screen pass Shawong. He outruns one tackler and he's tripped up inside the 25-yard line. That's going to end the first quarter with Sacred Heart trailing the Palmer Tigers 8-0. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Small to really grand. The phone has changed so that now you can.
Football.
Yeah, I think so. Jeff Shawong. Now we've got 3rd down and 12. Split the backs. Kanabe, he drops straight back. He looks. Simon goes down the right side. Kanabe scrambles. He's still looking. He can't find any room to run, and he'll be dropped down right at about the line of scrimmage.
Well, Kanabe got all kinds of pressure back there. He was just scrambling for his life and not much of an opportunity to look upfield for receivers. It was Randy Spellbrink and Brian Tibbetts that teamed up to make the tackle on him right at about the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 4th down, still 12 yards to go. John, the line of scrimmage at the 21-yard line of the Palmer Tigers.
Well, 4th down at the 22-yard line. You obviously won't punt from there. The Irish don't kick field goals, so that means they'll be going for it, obviously. And we'll see what Doug Goltz pulls out of a hat here. Irish, again, would like to get a first down here, or if not, a score. Eye set. Kanabe calls the snap count. He goes straight back. He looks. Great protection. Now he's in trouble. He fires underneath to Simon. Simon gets away from one man, gets a great block by Shawong, and he'll be down at about the 11-yard line.
Simon will come up just a yard short of the first down, but the thing that stands out about that play was the block by Jeff Shawong. Shawong really hammered somebody and kept him off of Simon. Simon got within a yard of the first down at the 11-yard line. Bad news is he's short of the first down. Good news is at least he took it clear down to the 11-yard line before they turn it back over to Palmer.
Well, like we said, the Irish are moving the ball. Their penalty hurt them that time, or they might very well have been in the end zone. So here comes Palmer over the football. 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line. Split the backs. Glaus goes back. He gives it off. No, he does give it off on an end around. Peters in trouble and brought down from behind by Schleminski.
Schleminski with good alert football that time, and I'll tell you, the Sacred Heart Irish had quite a task there just sorting things out. They had to try and sort them out and see who's really got the football. Finally coming out of there with it, carrying it was Ken Peters, but Schleminski drops him after a gain of a yard. It'll bring up 2nd down, 9 yards to go for the Tigers.
So the Irish defense needing to hold on here, try to force him to punt again. Split the backs. Glaus goes back. He keeps the ball. He looks. He fires complete, and down the sideline, finally knocked out of bounds is 27, Brian Tibbetts.
Jared Kirkendall driving Tibbetts out of bounds after he has the first down yardage across the 30 out to the 32. I'll tell you, they're really working on Jared Kirkendall out here on the right flat. Kirkendall has really had his hands full tonight trying to cover those receivers coming out of there.
Well, that's the first time they've thrown to somebody other than Peters tonight. 19-yard gain on the play will bring up 1st down and 10.
Brian Tibbetts was the receiver that time.
Split the backs on 1st down and 10. Glaus gives the ball off over the left side, and running room with the football up to midfield is 32, Tony Davis.
Getting him down there was Jared Kirkendall that time, and you hate to hear about Kirkendall coming up from where he's at to make a stop on the fullback because he'd already broken through that line. Because every member of your family's vision is important, they deserve the special eye care available at Family Optometry in Hiawatha, Kansas, staffed by Dr. John Metzger.
Spot the ball at the 39-yard line. 2nd down, 2 yards to go now for Palmer. Glaus turns. He gives the ball to his fullback. That time again, Davis on the carry, and he'll be up just a little bit short of the first down.
Brandon Deerfeld in on the tackle that time for the Sacred Heart Irish. Also in on the stop was Matt Bletcher.
The Stella Elevator and the Bungie Corporation are happy to give you a hand when buying or selling grain. Be sure to talk with the Bungie Corporation.
Well, John, the football across the midfield stripe now at the 39-yard line of Sacred Heart. It's 3rd down, less than a yard to go for the Tigers.
Split the backs. Peters in there along with Glaus, the quarterback. He'll keep it, and he will be good for the first down, it looks like. according to the official.
He got a pretty healthy spot on that one, John. They actually dropped him and drug him backwards, but they're going to say the forward progress put the football down near the 38. It would appear that that's enough for the first down, but they're going to bring the chains in and take a measurement. 8:59 to play, second period. 8-0 the score. The Sacred Heart Irish trailing here. Hinky Dinky in Fall City is your store for the largest variety of groceries in Richardson County. And they remind you the new deli is now open. That's Hinky Dinky at 1900 Harlan Street in Fall City.
First down on the play, so Palmer will retain another first down, keep possession of the footballs. They don't have to punt on fourth.
John, Sacred Heart's possessions, they punted the ball once. 2 possessions ended in fumbles, and then the penalty yardage caused them some problems down here. They were unable to get the first down, so the Irish still with a goose egg on that scoreboard.
Gain of about a yard on that last play. Now we've got an end wingback sort of position. Coming in motion is Davis. Pitch the ball out there. With it is Todd Peters, and Peters is hit up around the helmet, and he'll be dropped after a gain of maybe a yard.
Peters met up by Steve Simon, and Simon just kind of bulldogged him to the turf, dropped him after a gain of 1. The football between the 37 and 38-yard line. Second down, 9 yards to go for the Tigers.
Well, Palmer's defense has been very effective. Their offense is moving the ball against the Sacred Heart 33 defense. They have 27 yards on the ground, 41 through the air so far. Glaus drops straight back. He looks to throw. He looks underneath, and it is intercepted.
John, the pass was intended for number 32, Tony Davis. Davis had it in his hands. It went right through his hands, traveled another 5 to 7 yards up the field, and Jared Kirkendall very alertly got down and made the intercept for the Irish. So Sacred Heart gets a break. They'll take over with the football, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Well, it looked like Palmer was trying to set up a little screen underneath that time, and the ball just thrown too hard off of the receiver, just out of his reach and into Jared Kirkendall's breadbasket. Split a man out to the right side, this time for the Irish. Kanabi turns, gives to Shawong. Shawong cuts outside. He'll break it. He's still on his feet. He's at the 30. It's a foot race. Touchdown. Jeff Shawong goes the distance.
The 25-yard line was the line of scrimmage, John. The ball was at the 25.
55-yard touchdown run for Jeff Shawong. And another great block out there, and he did another good job to break away from a tackler.
Jared Kirkendall, the man that threw the block on the corner that enabled him to turn the corner and get down that right sideline. Credit Jared Kirkendall with the block. Swong carries the football 55 yards. The Irish are on the board. 8-6 your score, and Sacred Heart breaks a huddle to come up and try for the 2-point conversion.
Well, it looks like this could be a big play right here. Tie the ball game if they make it. Kanabi keeps the ball, pitches to Shawong, and he carries the defender into the end zone, and we've got a tie ball game. 7:37 to play in the first half. 8 apiece. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Kickoff.
And Slominski will approach the ball. Josh kicks the ball. Oops, he hit a knuckleball. And, well, you know when the Lions crew's running for cover, it's out of bounds.
The ball went out of bounds down around the 15 or the 16-yard line. Of course, there are flags thrown. It'll be a procedure penalty, the official ruling against the Sacred Heart Irish. Apparently, Palmer wants to make him kick it again and try it all over.
Josh Slominski has just simply had an outstanding year kicking off for the Irish. They've got 3 guys that can really nail the ball off the tee.
Mullinax Auto Supply of Fall City is where you get the full line of auto and farm parts that carry a warranty. That's Mullinax Auto Supply in Fall City, Nebraska.
Slominski will tee the ball up this time back at the 30-yard line. And or back at the 25, excuse me, and we'll do it all over again. Josh ready. He's got his shoe all taped up. Waiting for his teammates to get the word from the officials, and they come out of their huddle at midfield, and we're ready for the kick again. No wind tonight. That won't be a factor. Slominski this time hits it down the middle of the field. The ball will come down at the 10. The man slipped, but he caught the ball back to the 15, out to the 20. That's Spellbrink at the 25, where he's knocked out of bounds.
Spellbrink driven out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Teaming up there to make the tackle on him was Jared Kirkendall, along with Tom Becker, I believe, getting a piece of it. You know, he stumbled just a moment before the football arrived and then kind of caught it up on the shoulder pad. You know, that could have spelled disaster very easily for Palmer also, John.
Palmer at their own 26-yard line to start this drive. Well, I have a feeling the Irish defense might be just a little bit keyed up here. If they could hold them here 3 plays and punt, it might be the big turning point in the ball game. Split the backs on 1st down and 10. Glaus hands the ball to Tony Davis, and he's stacked up right at the line of scrimmage.
Davis was actually hit in the backfield, and the first man to get to him was Adam Freschel. Freschel just sort of stood him up straight, then waited for help from his friends. He did manage to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Still lost about a half a yard. We'll call it 2nd down now and a long 10 to go, John.
7:10 to play in the first half. 8 apiece here in the championship game this evening. Split the backs on 2nd down now. Davis and Spellbrink in there. Fake the handoff. Glaus keeps. He throws, and his man wasn't looking. Simon thought he should have intercepted the ball. He's mad at himself as he comes to the side.
Randy Spellbrink was the intended receiver out here coming out of the backfield. Steve Simon came across, knocked the ball away. It falls incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down. Peru State College invites you to be on hand as the Peru State Bobcats take on the University of Wisconsin lacrosse in the opening round of the NAIA football playoffs tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. in the Oak Bowl in Peru. Peru State College helping to present tonight's broadcast.
3rd down, 11 yards to go now. Split the backs again. The Irish in their 33 this time. Send a man on a blitz. It's a pitch, and it's a throw-in pitch. And the Irish stop it after a short gain.
Well defense. The pass was completed out here to Ken Peters. Peters then pitched the ball back to Tony Davis, the trailing back, but the Irish played it well. They just simply tackled both of the ball carriers out there, and that eliminates the threat, John.
A gain of 3 yards will make it 4th down and 8. And the Irish will go back to receive the kick. Spellbrink with a good snap. And the kick high in the air comes down long to Simon. Simon comes up the field. He breaks one tackle. Tackler slips. Simon still on his feet, backpedaling out across the 35.
Steve Simon with a return of 16 yards on the punt return. Gets the football across the 35, mark at the 36-yard line. And with 6 minutes and 40 seconds to play here in the first half, the score tied at 8. The Irish start, John, with excellent field position.
Steve Simon returning the ball that time. Jeff Schwong now unofficially 96 yards rushing in the ball game already. Split a man out wide to the right. That's Jared Kirkendall. That's what we saw last time. Pitch play to Simon. Simon catches the ball down the sideline. No, but he's going to catch Steve Simon. He is in for a touchdown.
It'll be a 44-yard touchdown carry. The line of scrimmage, the football was just outside the 35-yard line. Officially a 44-yard touchdown run, John.
Was it Josh Sleminski that got the big block down here?
Sleminski throwing the block on the left sideline again that sprung Steve Simon down the left sideline for the touchdown. John, 2 big plays. The Irish lead it.
Well, right in a row, they set that play up to look exactly like the last play that Schwong ran. They went the other way, and credit Simon not only for the good run, he made a heck of a catch on that pitch. The ball was a little bit high on his shoulder pad. Point after try, handoff, Schwong dives in, it is good. 16-8, Sacred Heart leads. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
One play.
Yeah, they're quick. Senator Randy from Omaha Brownell Talbot. I see some others down there, and I can't tell quite what they say. Here's the kickoff, and Sleminski is going to boot this one into the middle of next week.
Oh, the gray jackets you see lined up, those are Johnson Brock Eagles standing along the fence there, John. So a lot of kids that played in Class D and 8-man are here tonight to see this state championship game.
Josh Sleminski got that big block on Simon's long run. He was all pumped up over here on the sideline, and he just booted the ball into the end zone.
The score, 16-8. The Irish have come from behind. They trailed 8-0 back in the first quarter. Now they lead it. 6 minutes, 18 seconds to play, second period. Palmer comes over the football.
Clayton Glaus, the senior quarterback, will call the snap count. Palmer down for the first time tonight. He turns and he gives the ball to Davis, and another near fatality there for Palmer on the handling of the football.
Matt Bletcher getting the tackle there for Sacred Heart. Bletcher had the majority of it anyway, and they drop him after a gain of a yard. It'll call it 2nd down, 9 yards to go. The line of scrimmage now at the 16-yard line.
28 yards rushing for Palmer as a team, so you can hardly fault the Irish defense. They've given up just 44 yards in the air. I formation this time, 2nd down and 9. The ball to 16. Glaus fakes the handoff. He looks, pressure. He throws the ball, but let's see, they're going to call it an incomplete pass.
They'll rule it as an incompletion. Getting the tackle on him, Tom Becker. Brandon Deerfeld also in on the stop. He brought the arm forward, John, but Becker really hammered him from the blind side just as he was about to release the football. That's probably a good ruling. It was an incompletion. The arm came forward.
If it was in the NFL, he'd have been sacked. Tom Becker has a goal. He'd like to get 20 sacks on the year. He's 2 away. He's got 18 on the year, and he very nearly had number 19 that time.
3rd down and 9, John.
Split the backs now. 5:40 to play, first half. Glaus drops straight back. 2 men in the pattern. He looks. He throws, and it was incomplete. Intended again for Ken Peters.
And Peters that time sort of paid the price because Jeff Schwang had an opportunity to greet him out there as the pass was incomplete, and Schwang exchanged pleasantries with Peters. Peters will be looking for number 42 next time he comes down the field on a pass route, John.
Yeah, Jeff, you know, when you play fullback, when you get a chance to take a little punishment out the other way, you do it. Here's the punt, straight up again off the side of the foot. It's going to bounce and roll across midfield. Well, that may be Palmer's biggest break of the night right there, that roll on that punt.
The reason that punt went straight up in the air for Randy Spellbrink is he was hearing footsteps because back there he had a lot of company. Josh Sleminski was in on him, and Jared Kirkendall, both very close to blocking that one. Adam Freschel also coming in from the left side. Were it not for the roll, that wouldn't have been much of a punt, John.
Sacred Heart will take it 1st and 10 at their own 33. Randy, I watched Spellbrink walk up the field that time with the thigh bruise, and he's limping a little bit more noticeably now. Here come the Irish over the ball, 1st and 10. They split the backs this time at their own 33. Kanabe turns, gives to Simon straight up the middle. Simon is going to be hit and raised and lowered.
A good solid tackle that time on Steve Simon, and making the hit on him there was David Samuelson, and Samuelson then extends the hand and helps him back up to his feet.
5:09 to play here in the first half. It's 16-8 Sacred Heart, and we are just working our way toward halftime. I think we have quite a bit of football left in this one. Couple of breaks for Palmer, and the momentum could change in a hurry again. Split a man wide right. Motion man is Shawong to the right. Kanabe, option play. He keeps the ball. Late pitch to Simon. Simon down the side, dances inside a tackle. He'll have a first down.
I'll tell you, making the tackle on Simon was Clayton Glaus. Had Glaus not tripped him up when he did, there was nothing left between Steve Simon and the goal line but real estate.
Well, that was a great play right there because he had a blocker all over him. He was able to shed that blocker and make just an excellent play.
For gifts and greeting cards for any occasion, stop into Sheets Pharmacy at 17th and Stone Street in Fall City. Sheets Pharmacy with 3 licensed pharmacists to serve you.
Here come the Irish over the football, now down to the 38 of Palmer, where they line it up in an I. Right side hash mark. Kent Kanabe calls the play. He looks, he pitches to Simon. Simon runs up into the middle, and he'll have about 5 more.
Leading the tackle on Simon, David Samuelson once again. Samuelson getting in on 2 tackles in a row. Also making the tackle, Tony Davis. That time Simon a gain on the play of 5 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5. The new line of scrimmage now at the 33-yard line of Palmer.
For a good selection and a great deal on a newer used car, see Holman's Ford Lincoln Mercury, 14th and Harlan in Falls City. Simon averaging about 155 yards a game in the playoffs. That's up over his season average. Then again, you got to consider he and Sean, they don't get to play a whole game very much or very often. I formation again on 2nd and 5. Kanabe calls the snap, fakes the pitch. He drops back, he looks. He throws to Schwang underneath, and Jeff is hit just as he catches the ball.
Well, Jeff Schwang tackled the only way you can tackle Jeff Schwang, and that's by wrapping the arms and driving him back. It was Tony Davis. Davis, a pretty good-sized boy, the linebacker, 190 pounds and a junior, made a good, solid tackle on Jeff Schwang. The Animal Health Center east of Fall City is your complete facility center for animal treatment of small and large animals. Hospitalization is also available.
Short gain of about 2 on the play. Good coverage that time by the Palmer secondary. They had Sleminski double covered. I formation. Give to Schwang. He goes. Oh, and he's tripped up in the 25.
And getting Schwang around the ankles and dropping him there was Randy Spellbrink. Spellbrink managed to take him off his feet, but not before he gets the first down yardage. John, we still have 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Sacred Heart starting to move the football very effectively. They're at the 22-yard line of Palmer.
A 9-yard gain that time for Jeff Schwang, and 1 more step, and he'd have went all the way. Give the ball again. No, Kanabe has the flag, goes down on that option to the left.
Break for Kanabe. The ball popped loose for a minute, John. Bounced right back up into his hands. Kanabe covered the football, but as you said, we do have a flag on the play. It's going to be against the Sacred Heart Irish.
Well, Palmer may decide to take the play, only gain a yard. I mean, I doubt it. He'll probably be holding in a 10-yarder, but the way the Irish are moving right now.
The American National Bank in Fall City is helping to present tonight's broadcast. They say before you write another check, we want you to check with us. That's the American National Bank in Fall City, Nebraska. I'm Randy Gatula along with John Nixon. I hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. The Fall City Sacred Heart Irish and the Palmer Tigers, the Class D2 8-man state championship football game. Live from Jug Brown Stadium here in Fall City. 2:37 to play in the first half. 16-8, the Irish lead it. They come over the ball.
Well, now we're back to 1st and 20. Simon goes motion left to right. Kanabe calls the snap. He goes back. He looks. Screen underneath Shawong. Shawong right up the middle. He cuts in the middle of the field. He is going to be brought down at the 5-yard line.
Making the tackle on him, Clayton Glaus. Glaus drops him at the 5, but the Irish will be threatening. They'll have the football, 1st and goal.
From the 31 down to the 5, a 26-yard pickup for the Irish. Sacred Heart now, Randy, with 191 yards rushing the football, and it doesn't seem like they're doing that well.
99 of those yards came on the 2 touchdown runs, John.
That helps. That helps. I formation, 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Pitch play to Simon over the left side. Good block from Shawong. Touchdown, Sacred Heart.
Let's describe the play for you. Jeff Shawong just drove 3 would-be tacklers into the end zone for Steve Simon. All Simon had to do was just run through the path that Shawong had cleared out for him.
Well, Doug Gold said in the pregame show, he says Jeff Shawong has been very unselfish. There's no jealousy. He takes as much pride in making an excellent block as he does scoring a touchdown. And he's had a very prideful evening so far, blocking and running.
What a guy to block for, and Steve Simon following you into that end zone. They're quite a pair of running backs, no doubt about it. Here comes the try for the conversion attempt, John.
They'll line it up in split back formation. Kanabe goes back to pass. He looks, all kinds of pressure. And Kent's going to be dropped all the way back at about the 10-yard line. 22-8, Sacred Heart leads. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
How many plays on that? 2 seconds to play in the second period.
Simon with 2 touchdowns on the night. Jeff Shawong with 1 touchdown so far. And Slominski will boot the ball away, and there she goes. Back halfway through the end zone again, 1st and 10 at the 15.
You can tell the adrenaline starting to flow here as Slominski is kicking that football 5 and 6 yards deep in the end zone. No chance for a return whatsoever. Helping to present tonight's championship broadcast here on KTNC is Jim Hills, the paint, glass, wallpaper, floor covering, and hardware center in Fall City. That's Jim Hills in Fall City helping to present tonight's game.
2:02 left in the first half here this evening. 22-8 Sacred Heart. See what Palmer can come up with here. They have been very effective throwing the football. Split the backs. Glaus will call the snap count. He goes back. He hands the ball off to Davis. Davis breaks 1 tackle, and he'll be brought down at the line, but a flag falls late.
Davis is dropped at the line of scrimmage, but I'll tell you, Adam Freschel actually tripped Davis up and made the first contact about 5 yards behind that line of scrimmage. Freschel held him up long enough that the rest of the defensive pursuit could come over and help. The flag on the play is going to be a face mask, obviously inadvertent there. Someone just got up a little too high on the tackle, and that'll help Palmer's cause considerably. A 15-yarder moves the football all the way to the 30-yard line. That happens with 1:54 to play here in the first half. The Irish leading it 22-8.
Well, it was Randy Spellbrink on the carry. I thought I saw
Putty cat.
32. Yeah, thought I saw a putty cat. So they move the ball out to the 30-yard line, hand the ball off over the left side, and this time it's Tony Davis, and he'll pick up about 5 more.
Tony Davis stopped that time by Brandon Deerfeld and Jared Kirkendall for Sacred Heart. Davis a gain of 5 yards on the play. The football at the 35-yard line. 2nd down, 5 yards to go for the Palmer Tigers. They came in here, John, 12-0, undefeated on the season.
1:20 to play. First half, Spellbrink over there trying to get loosened up on the sideline, it looks like. Split the backs on 2nd down and 5. Glaus turns. He's going to throw the ball. He looks. He throws. It is just out of the hands of both the receiver and Jeff Schwang.
Intended for Peters, overthrown there. Peters could have had a shot at it, didn't get to it. To be honest with you, Jeff Schwang probably much closer to catching the pass than was the intended receiver, Peters. In any event, it falls incomplete. The ball comes back to the 35-yard line, and now the Palmer Tigers have 3rd down and 5 yards to go. 1 minute and 10 seconds to play here in the first half.
Clock is stopped with the incomplete pass. Tony Davis comes out here wide. Well, he's carrying around a bath towel around his belt, Randy. Might slow him down a little bit. Lone setback in there this time. Pass is complete, and a big hit across midfield. Good for first down on the play, though.
Making the pop on him was Jared Kirkendall. Also in on the tackle was Jeff Schwang, but it was Kirkendall that really punished that receiver. John, you've heard the term set sail down the sideline. He's got his sail fastened right in the belt loop there.
I would think that'd be... I wouldn't think you'd want to do that. You just give him something else to grab.
Yeah, folks,
onto.
we're not talking about a small hand towel. This thing...
Oh, it's a bath towel, almost
sure
a beach towel. Well, good for a first down. It moves the ball down to the Sacred Heart 36-yard line on the pass play. Split the backs. Glaus in around to Peters. He looks like he wants to throw. He does want to throw. He's got all kinds of pressure. He throws it. The receiver fell down. And, he caught the ball. And I think if he hadn't caught it, Randy, the official was going to call interference.
Making the reception was the quarterback, Clayton Glaus. Glaus came out and caught the football. Simon actually slipped off of him. He slipped Simon's tackle, and were it not for the follow-up by Jared Kirkendall, he'd have been gone. We've got a timeout taken, John.
Will return in 30 seconds. Sacred Heart leads 22-8. Let's see, 44. Oh, what did he gain that time?
Football was at the 35-yard line.
He's down to what, 22, 13 yards? I thought they had him.
About 23 yards on that one.
No, they had it on this side. 40, didn't they? Yeah.
Thank you.
And welcome back here to Jug Brown Stadium. John Nixon, Randy Gatula with you with 36 seconds left in the first half. Sacred Heart leads 22-8, but Palmer has the football, and they want to score again.
Well, John, the Palmer Tigers are kind of pulling everything out of their bag of tricks. That time they threw the football back to the quarterback as the receiver, and throwing it was the end, Ken Peters, who had taken the handoff on the end around. Peters had a lot of time to run around back there before he threw that football, and now Palmer has 36 seconds with which to work. The line of scrimmage, the 22-yard line.
Tony Davis splits wide to the left. Ken Peters slot to the right. One setback. Fire the ball down to the end zone. It falls incomplete.
Go ahead, John.
Out of the reach of Davis on the receiver that time.
Back on the defensive coverage, Josh Sleminski. Sleminski was beaten there, John. Had the ball been on the money, the receiver was in behind Sleminski. But fortunately for the Irish fans, the pass overthrown.
Tell you what, Clayton Glaus really puts some spin on the ball when he throws it out there. He's got a lot of zip on that football. Doesn't look like a real big kid, but he's doing real well throwing it. Southeast Nebraska Telephone Company is the company going a long distance for you, making our broadcast possible tonight. They've got a slot right, split left this time, one lone setback, unbalanced line. They throw the ball over the middle, and it's intercepted by Sleminski. Sleminski to the 25, and he's dropped down at about the 23-yard line.
Sleminski with a good job on the intercept, getting it out across the 20. John, did you see how quickly Matt Bletcher turned from a defensive ball player into an offensive blocker? Bletcher just turned around and knocked somebody into next week right out here at about the 15-yard line. Put the man flat on his back to make way for the return of the interception.
Oh, I'm perfectly honest. No, I didn't. Simon goes in motion to the right. Flags fly, and the handoff goes to Schwang. The ball is loose. Palmer has it.
Now we can only hope that the penalty is against Palmer.
Somehow I get a feeling it wasn't, though. Man in motion was Simon. He looked like he did that okay. It is against Sacred Heart. I thought for a moment they had blown the play dead, Randy. They decline it. They'll have the football back.
Only 8 seconds left here in the first half, John, so Palmer will get another shot at it. They have the football. given to them at the Sacred Heart 23-yard line. We've got a timeout taken by the Tigers.
We'll be back with the Palmer Tigers.
Well, John, that's a tough break for the Irish to turn it over here, leading this thing 22-8. They would have probably liked to just gone ahead and got out of the half with that lead. Now Palmer with 8 seconds with which to work. Let's see what they can do with it. Again, the football at the 23-yard line of the Irish as Palmer comes over the football.
Well, we'll see what they do. Glaus, the quarterback, calls the snap. He's got a man, Davis, wide to the left side of the field. He drops straight back. He fakes the draw. He looks. He fires for the end zone. Oh, it knocked away, and a flag flies. And I'm afraid he's going to call interference, and I don't agree with it.
The intended receiver was Brian Tibbetts. Tibbetts perhaps interfered with near the goal line. Now, wait a minute. The Irish fans, or the Irish players, rather, clapping their hands. So perhaps this is against Palmer. Let's see.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
Okay, an ineligible receiver. And on that play, we want to point out the pressure that Becker was applying to the quarterback, Glaus. Becker was coming in from that right side, and Glaus had him breathing down his neck as he released that pass. Still 2 seconds showing on the clock with the incompletion.
I didn't think it was interference.
You had to wonder, didn't you?
I thought that was an awful good play back there by Shawong or somebody tipping the ball away back there.
I've seen more flagrant bad calls this season, but that would have been one of the best.
22-8, time for one more play. That penalty yardage won't make any difference. I got another timeout call by Palmer. They'll come out and line up one more play on the chalkboard here. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Future? Well, no one can predict your future, but at Milford campus of Southeast Community College, you can prepare for it. Winter quarter programs start January 8th. The Milford campus offers you quality education at a reasonable cost, on-campus housing, job placement, and active campus life and financial aid. There are openings for several programs for January 8th. Contact your high school guidance counselor or the Milford admissions office today. Call 1-800-445-4094.
We have 2 seconds left here in the first half. Palmer coach Eldon Marsh out there. I don't know if he's out there drawing plays in the dirt or not, but, you know, you try anything this time of the season.
John, we want to invite everyone to stay with us for our halftime show this evening. We'll be talking about tomorrow's big football game that's going to be played in the Oak Bowl at Peru State. Here we go. 2 seconds to play.
Split ends to either side of the field now. Peters and Davis. Glaus, the quarterback, calls the snap count. The Irish drop back. 5 men in coverage. The pass is up. It is caught by Slominski. And Slominski will be into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and that'll end the first half with Sacred Heart leading it 22-8. Sacred Heart by no means, Randy, an easy first half in this ball game. Will boot the ball, and the ball comes down. It's dropped at about the 5, rolling around. Spellbrink finally picks it up. He's got an opening, but he will be converged on in a hurry, and he'll be dropped out at about the 15 or 16-yard line.
First man to wrap him up was Jared Kirkendall, and then Steve Simon put the icing on the cake, so to speak, the finishing touches, and really pounded him to the turf at the 18-yard line. That's where the Tigers will start with it. 1st and 10. John, we're just underway in the second half. 22-8 the score. The Irish lead it. They came from behind. They were trailing 8-0.
Well, the ball's at the 19-yard line is what the scoreboard says, or the 18-yard line. We'll go with that. And we're ready. The backs are split in the backfield. Clayton Glaus calls a snap count. He hands the ball off over the left side, and first man through there is Tony Davis carrying the football, and he'll be dropped after a gain of a yard.
Matt Bletcher had a piece of the tackle, as did Josh Slominski that time for the Irish. I don't know about the Sacred Heart defenders, but John, from time to time, I have a hard time figuring out what Glaus has done with the football. He's quite a magician back there.
Well, that's my feelings exactly. He's kind of tough once in a while. We've got split backs again. Glaus will call the snap count. He'll turn. He'll pitch the ball this time to Spellbrink. Spellbrink trying to get outside, and Jeff Schwab will drop him for a loss on the play.
Jeff Swang just pursuing and pursuing, just kept floating and floating out there, waiting to make his move. And then as Spellbrink tried to turn the corner, Swang came up and met him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll drop him for no gain whatsoever. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 10.
Well, we'll call it, in fact, a loss of a yard on the play that time, Randy. And Spellbrink, with the thigh bruise, perhaps slowed down just a little bit. And, of course, it's hard to run outside against Sacred Heart as fast as they are. The ball's pretty much in the center of the field now. First, they're making 3rd down and 10. Here comes a blitz, an inside handoff to Davis, and he's stacked up immediately.
Boy, you got to like the pursuit on the part of the Sacred Heart Irish defense. Very quickly up there. Becker in on it. Also Slominski and Matt Bletcher. All three of them sharing in that tackle. 4th down and 9. Punting situation. Spellbrink will stand at his own 10-yard line.
Glaus tried to sneak it through there that time. Good snap. The kick is away. It's an end-over-end kick. It's a line drive. And Shawong ends up with it his 33-yard line, and he'll be dropped right at midfield.
A good open field tackle by Brian Tibbetts. Tibbetts dropping Shawong right at the midfield stripe, the 40-yard line. Nevertheless, the Irish open with excellent field position on their first possession of the second half. They have the football 1st and 10. The ball just across the midfield stripe now into Palmer territory.
Well, Randy, what do you think? You've watched Sacred Heart a couple of times now. If they come out and get a quick score on the board now, Palmer could be in real trouble.
It could all be over very quickly.
High formation, hand the ball off. Shawong up the middle, cuts outside, and he was a step away from going all the way, but he ends up with a short gain.
Dustin Sanders made the tackle on Shawong after he got a gain of a couple, but good line surge on the part of the Sacred Heart offensive line. They're driving those Palmer defenders 2 to 3 yards off the line of scrimmage, and you can really see them starting to take command there on the line of scrimmage now.
Dr. David Borg and his employees are supportive of the activities in the area and happy to sponsor tonight's broadcast. Kirkendall, or is it Slominski, comes out wide to the right. Kanabe option left side, keeps the football, and boy, Kent Kanabe running tough. They finally bring him down after a gain of about 4 yards.
Count them, John. 5 orange jerseys hanging on Kanabe, and Kanabe was still picking up yardage, dragging 5 would-be tacklers with him. Gain on the play of about 4 yards, put the football inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. 3rd down and 4. Fall City Healthcare helping to present tonight's broadcast. Fall City Healthcare is where you find a home-like atmosphere for your loved ones.
You know, it's hard to believe just a couple of years ago in basketball, they were going, oh, Kent Kanabe's not strong enough to play in the middle. Well, things are going to be different now. Here comes a man in motion. Shawong from the left to the right. Handoff straight up the middle to Simon. Simon spinning ahead, and he'll be brought down short of the first down.
They stop him about 2 yards short of the first down. He needed to get the football inside the 30-yard line. Making the tackle on him was David Samuelson. Samuelson is a linebacker in there. He's been in on his share of the tackles tonight.
People usually prefer to buy life insurance from someone they know and trust, their State Farm agent. See Mike Castle at 2002 Stone Street, Fall City. Phone 245-4312. 4th down, about, call it a long 2. The Irish will go for it at the 32. Motion man again is Shawong. Watch the pitch. Here it comes to Simon. Simon cuts inside, and he's going to be brought down at the 15, maybe.
Maybe.
Well, they ended up pushing him out of bounds.
They just could not get him off his feet. That's big Tony Davis, 190-pound junior, hanging on to Simon. And Davis finally just resigned to the fact that I can't get him down. We'll have to go ahead and drive him out of bounds. Simon was not about to be tackled. He puts the football to the 15-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Irish.
A gain of 17 on the play by Steve Simon. When Shawong comes out there and Simon's over there, that pitch, that was their bread and butter for 2 years when they were freshmen and sophomores. Turn, give the ball, no, fake the give, and Kanabe did a great job to get the ball off as he got hit just as soon as he turned around.
Kanabe did a great job of improvisation there, I think. He had to improvise a play quickly. Looks to me like a mix-up in the backfield. Kanabe turned around to hand the football off. Nobody was there. Then he was about to be sacked for a big loss. Found a receiver out in the right area and tried to dump it off over here. Ended up an incompletion, but that puts the ball back down to the 15-yard line instead of a loss of about 10.
7:23 left here in the 3rd period of play. Sacred Heart with the lead. Kanabe option left, throws the ball behind Simon. Simon dives. He picks it up off the ground, and he will be losing yardage all the way back out across the 25-yard line.
Steve Simon very fortunate just to get back and get on the football. The pitch out was behind him. Simon with not much of an opportunity to get to the ball. Loses yardage about 10 yards on the play. Put it back to the 25-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down now and 20 yards to go from the 25-yard line of Palmer.
Well, like we said, that's been the only bugaboo. That's the 5th time the ball's been on the ground tonight, or make it the 5th time the ball's been on the ground for the Irish. A loss of 10 on the play that time. And there go the stats. 22-8, split a man out to the right side. Kanabe option or gives the ball off. He gives it off to Adam Freschel. Freschel got good blocking on the screen that time down the side, but a flag flies.
Flag thrown into the play as Adam Freschel gets the ball back down to near the original line of scrimmage. A gain of about 10 yards on the pass completion to Adam Freschel. Now we'll have to wait for him to sort it out and see what the penalty is. Hardee's at 14th and Harlan in Fall City invites you to beef up your Sunday with a regular roast beef sandwich, only 99 cents on Sundays at Hardee's in Fall City.
It's going to be holding against Sacred Heart, so they'll march him back some more. Well, maybe they won't.
John, all throughout the season, folks listening to high school football broadcasts here on KTNC hear us mentioning the fine sponsors that help to present the broadcast, and as we are approaching the end of our final high school broadcast of the year, it might be a good time for us to say thanks to them and for their support, and also to invite all of our listeners to stop by and say thanks to the merchants and the folks that you hear helping present the broadcast. Without their support, hey, these games just wouldn't be possible.
And, of course, I like to go to them. So stop and say thanks, because I want to keep going.
And besides, John gets in free when he's working on the radio.
That's right. Well, now we've got an interesting setup. Slominski split right, passed the ball out to Simon. He dropped the ball. He didn't really drop it. The ball just kind of went through his hands. It would have been a lateral. It might have been a double pass.
Because it was a lateral, they will lose yardage, even though he dropped the ball back out to the 35-yard line. And now it's going to bring up 4th down and a quarter of a mile, John. 4th and about 30 yards to go. They would have to get it clear to the 5-yard line for a first down.
You're going to lose about 4 on that play. So it comes up 4th down and 29 yards to go.
Elliott Realty Associates are happy to help bring you tonight's football coverage, just as they bring you coverage of insurance for family, farm, and business.
I can foresee a fake punt here very easily. Darnell back. He's going to throw the ball. Oh, he threw it straight up, trying to fake him into thinking it's a punt, and Jared Kirkendall just about made it work.
Talk about some deception. They send him, Darnell, back in punt formation. He throws the pass deliberately high in the air in a spiral, hoping, as you said, that Palmer would think it was a punted football up there, and almost pulled it off.
Jared Kirkendall just about had that thing. I didn't think they would punt from the 35-yard line.
You just about see anything in 8-man football, don't you, John? Hey, this game is fun to watch. I really enjoy this.
Palmer has it 1st and 10 at their own 35. That was 4th down. So here we come. Klaus back. Klaus, he looks, he throws, he hits Kent Peters, and Peters gets a good gain on the play of about 7 yards.
Jeff Shawong there to make the tackle on him, and again, Klaus, that is, the quarterback, was under all kinds of pressure back there. They were just about to wrap him up as he released that football, but Shawong had to make a good open field tackle on Peters.
Gain of 8 on the play that time will make it 2nd down and 2 in Sacred Heart territory at the 38-yard line. Here comes Palmer over the football, split the back, 2nd down 2. Glaus back, he gives the ball to Davis, and Davis, well, that's a good run right there. He could have been dropped for no gain on the play, and he probably is going to have a first down.
Tony Davis carrying the football forward inside the 35. It looks like he will have enough for the first down. John, I wonder if Tony Davis is old enough to remember Tony Davis that played for the University of Nebraska, the running back from Tecumseh. Had a chance to visit with Tony just last week at a junior varsity game that I attended up in Lincoln, and it's kind of fun to see the same name come up on a running back here.
Well, you know, he was probably born. That's probably his namesake.
Could be.
Quarterback sneak on 3rd and a yard, and Glaus will have it.
Suppose he was born on a Saturday afternoon when Tony was running wild at Lincoln?
You never know, but he's a junior. He's about 17. That'd be about 73, 74.
Real
about
close.
The time Tony was probably a junior or senior for Nebraska, so that's probably about right. His parents, obviously big Nebraska fans.
First down yardage puts the football inside the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for Palmer. 22-8. The Sacred Heart Irish lead it. 5:15 to play, 3rd period.
Here comes the play. I formation once again. 1st and 10. Glaus drops. He looks. Big pressure, and Slominski's got him.
Slominski came in and got him from the blind side, and Slominski, shaken up on the play after making the tackle, just rolls off the ball player, and he's injured over there.
Well, we'll wait and see what the decision is here. There's a timeout called on the field, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Specialists to save you the time and cost of traveling to obtain such services. The newest of these is a podiatry clinic with Dr. Steve Meinhold. Every second Tuesday of the month. Cataract surgery is available on an outpatient basis. Your health care is the most important concern of your hospital. Fall City Community Hospital.
Oh, Josh Slominski up quickly, jogs off the field, so he's not hurt too badly. That's good news. Split backs, he got the sack. It's 2nd and 15 after the sack. And again, the throw out and the pass intended for Tibbetts is incomplete.
Well, Tibbetts just flat out dropped the football. There's not much else you can say about it. The ball was there. He could not hold it. The pass falls incomplete. He was right near the first down marker at the 35-yard line. That's going to bring up third down and 15 yards to go now for Palmer. The football at the midfield stripe at the 40-yard line. 4 minutes, 39 seconds to play in the third period. The Sacred Heart Irish leading this Class D2 8-man state championship game. 22-8 the score.
Well, here they come. Third down and 15 now. Where's Ken Peters at? We'll watch for number 40. Looks like Simon's going to come on the blitz. Now he backs off. Glaus back. He fires. It is intercepted by Shawong at the 23. Shawong back to the middle. He cuts to the left. He's got
Look
blockers.
at the blocking.
He's across midfield inside the 35 to the 32-yard line.
John, how quickly the Sacred Heart Irish make the transition and get into the format there to block for him. Once they intercept the pass, they don't stand around and watch to see what he's going to do with it. They all immediately turn into blockers and start laying people down, and you know what that is? That's a sign of some awfully good coaching.
That's a 25-yard return for Jeff Shawong on the play. Shawong comes back. That's his 8th interception of the year, 4th of the ball game against the Palmer offense. Pitch play to Simon. Simon, and he's tripped up inside the 30 and down to about the 27.
Making the stop that time was Devon Kurz. Can you feel the momentum switch when a big play like that happens? You can just feel it clear up here.
Now, when you have the big crowd on hand, or now there's a good following here from Palmer, but obviously they're not going to have the numbers Sacred Heart has.
I wonder if that might not be the biggest following we've seen here, though. There's more people there than there were from Wahoo in the Class B game, John.
I might take a look through the glasses. I have a feeling a lot of those fans on that side, though, are here watching Sacred Heart. Simon jukes outside, back in, now back out. He's on the side. He's going to be in there. Touchdown.
The line of scrimmage was the 28-yard line, John. That will be a 28-yard touchdown carry by Steve Simon down the left sideline. The Irish go on top now, 28-8.
Simon with a 28-yard touchdown run, his third scoring run of the night for Sacred Heart. We've got 3:32 left here in the third period. Help your school obtain a new computer by saving your cash register tapes when you shop Hal's, Jack, and Jill in Falls Sluddy. Split the backs for the point after try. It's now 28-8. Sacred Heart motion man is Shawong. Kanabi calls the snap. He looks to throw. He does throw to Adam Freschel, and it's 30-8. Sacred Heart leads. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
This week, a little $4.49 for an 8-piece.
How about the drive, John?
2.
Here in the second half, that drive took 2 plays, 32 yards for the touchdown. Steve Simon carried from 28 yards out. The conversion attempt, the pass to Adam Freschel for the 2 points. The score goes 30-8. Sacred Heart on top. 3:32 to play here in the third quarter.
Slominski hits the ball. It's a long kick, and it's going to be right at the goal line. And out of there comes number 30 with the football. That's Todd Peters, and he'll be back out to about the 20.
Steve Simon made the tackle on Peters at the 25-yard line is where they're going to mark it down, so they'll have reasonably good field position. A 25-yard return. He caught the football literally astride the goal line that time, and they let him bring it out to the 20. My mistake, John. Put it at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for Palmer.
Well, Palmer will come over the football now, and they are in a bit of a pickle now. They're down by 22 points, 3 touchdowns behind plus some extra points. Glaus, the quarterback, goes back to pass. He looks, he throws underneath. The pass is complete out there to number 10. Oh, we get a new receiver in the ball game. That is Charlie Anchetta.
Anchetta with a fine job of catching that football. Anchetta had to make the reception down around the shoestrings there, right at the shoe tops. Grabbed it up and stayed in bounds. They mark him out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 7. Second down, 3 yards to go for the Tigers.
Well, Randy, I'm cheating a little bit looking through my spyglass. I see some Pawnee City players over there. PH, I'm assuming that's Polk Hordville over there. Split the backs, and the give is in the middle to Tony Davis, and that looks like Tony Davis we can all remember right there, running the football after he's hit, picking up a couple extra yards.
Davis running tough. In fact, he was carrying would-be tacklers back there with him. Becker had a piece of it. Shawong was in on the tackle, and Slominski, and Davis was carrying all 3 of those kids up the field out to the 35-yard line for the first down. The Fall City Community Hospital reminds you that your health care is the most important concern of your hospital. The Fall City Community Hospital.
Again, here come the Tigers over the football. Quarterback Clayton Glaus looks. He goes back. He wants to throw. He runs away from the pressure. He's up across the line of scrimmage, and he took on Steve Simon and won the battle that time.
You don't often see that. Steve Simon came across to hit one-on-one with Clayton Glaus, the quarterback. Glaus at 155 pounds, Simon at 180, and Simon kind of got the worst end of the collision, John.
1:57. The clock stops as the play goes out of bounds that time. Save now on BF Goodrich tires for your car, light truck, or van during the 51st anniversary sale at Harmon's OK Tire in Falls City. Glaus back. He looks. He's going to hand the ball off in there.
Adam Freschel and Josh Slaminski getting the tackle. Also underneath the bottom of the pile there is Brandon Deerfelt that time for the Irish.
Went right up the middle to Davis that time. Then Glaus ran out of there trying to make it look like an option. I bit. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 4 as he gets a yard.
Clock is running, John. 1:31 to play here in the 3rd period. If you're just tuning in by chance, 30-8 the score right now. Sacred Heart on top.
Split the backs on 3rd down and 4 now. Glaus with a long snap. He drops straight back. He looks intercepted by Matt Bletcher. Bletcher goes in there. Wow.
Making the tackle on Matt Bletcher was Todd Peters. All 160 pounds of Todd Peters, and I'll tell you, when Peters met up with 228 pounds of ball carrier and Matt Bletcher, he got more than he bargained for there. Managed to take Bletcher off his feet, but Peters got the worst end of it by far.
Let's be real honest. They didn't tackle Matt. Matt ran into him and fell over. Matt's not used to carrying that pigskin.
Be kind, John. Be kind.
Here's a pitch play to Simon. He jukes one man, and he will spin out of another tackle and pick up about 3 yards.
Let's go back to that play. Matt Bletcher wasn't about to try and juke anybody. He's not going to finesse you, no doubt about that, but nevertheless did a pretty good job of bringing that football up the field after making the intercept, and now the Sacred Heart Irish really starting to take command here. Lead at 30-8. The intercept, the ball at the 30-yard line of Palmer, and only 33 seconds to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Matt's not going to run around any punt. He sees a punt, says, there it is, let's go hit it. And surprisingly enough, they didn't give. Hand the ball off Shawong. Shawong breaks a tackle. He cuts outside. He goes for the sideline, and he'll have 1st down yardage.
Jeff Shawong just single-handedly broke 3 or 4 tackles and put the football inside the 20 for the 1st down. Finally getting the stop on him over there was Randy Spellbrink. Hinky Dinky in Fall City is the supermarket with the area's largest variety of groceries, and we remind you that our new deli is now open. That's Hinky Dinky at 1900 Harlan Street in Fall City.
That's the end of the 4th quarter, or the end of the 3rd quarter, excuse me. Sacred Heart's going to let the time run out. We'll take a 60-second break and be back with the final period. I hope Tim's getting all this on tape. I keep. Welcome back to Chuck Brown. The handoff goes straight up the middle to Jeff Shawong, and Jeff will be inside the 15 with a quick hitter. He'll pick up about 6 yards.
John, this pair of senior running backs, Steve Simon and Jeff Shawong, we said at the beginning of the broadcast tonight, they have averaged more than 10 yards every time they've touched the football throughout their high school careers. What a way for them to go out in style tonight, each of them scoring on long touchdown runs. Simon, I think, with 3 touchdowns now. They lead at 30-8, and they appear to be on their way to another state championship.
11.5 to play. Sacred Heart 2nd and 5 from the 14. Give the ball to Shawong right up the middle again, and he'll pick up about 3 more. So the Irish are going to pound away at the middle now, maybe soften them up a little bit in there.
You talk about the running backs are seniors. Kent Kanabe is senior. Adam Freschel, one of the fine receivers here. We saw him play some super defense 2 games back in these playoffs. He had one of the finest defensive games I've seen a player have in a while in the game against Humphrey St. Francis.
11:04. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 3 to go for for the Irish after the Shawong run. I formation. Hand the ball up. Whoop, and Kanabe keeps it. Pitch to Simon. Good catch, and he's going to be up to the 1-yard line.
How Kanabe got rid of that football and got it off to Simon, I'll never know, because he had a defender wrapped all around him. Kanabe somehow, at the extreme last instant, pitched the ball out to the trailing back. Simon dropped just about a yard short of the goal line. The Irish are threatening to really put her out of reach here pretty quick.
Gain of about 10 yards that time, while Shawong wanted to keep the ball. Kent able to finally get it out of there. and was wrapped up, then got the ball off to Steve Simon, who goes down to the 2, where it'll bring up 1st and goal. So another first down for Sacred Heart. Well, here we come. 1st down and goal. Simon goes in motion. Quarterback sneak. No, give to Shawong, and he just walks into the end zone.
Schwang goes in standing up. In fact, Becker got the worst end of it. Schwang knocked Becker down running up behind him. Becker out there blocking ahead had driven the defender 5 yards deep into the end zone, John.
Well, for all of the great things Steve Simon and Jeff Shawong have been able to do in their careers, and this year in particular, that number 80 playing center might very well be the most valuable player on this Sacred Heart team. Not only what he does blocking, which gets lost in the pileup out there, but simply because of what he does defensively, and he is just one outstanding blocker.
John, the score came with 10:23 to play in the ball game. The Irish line up for the conversion.
Split the back. Simon goes in motion, right to left. Kanabe turns. He keeps the ball. He is caught from behind. He just threw it up there left-handed. And the point after, no good. 36-8. Sacred Heart leads, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
What's he, right and left? You know, you switch hitter?
Yeah, I don't know. He might. He's done that before.
Ambidextrous, basketball and track, and they just keep on with those winning ways.
Slominski will kick the ball off. He will hit it. Up there comes another knuckleball. Oh, he got somebody that time right in the head over there.
Well,
I don't know who he got, but he
spectator, that's one of the stat keepers for Palmer over there with a clipboard, took that thing right in the left ear and put him to the ground, John. He's all right. The young man bounces back up with a clipboard, but he's going to have to learn to watch the ball game if you're going to stay along sideline.
He was watching. He just couldn't get away from it.
Put that clipboard up and defend yourself, son. 10:23 to play in the state championship football game here at Jug Brown Stadium in Falls City. 36-8 the score, the Irish on top. My name is Randy Gatula, John Nixon alongside here. Hope you're enjoying tonight's broadcast. Don't forget to be with us tomorrow afternoon for NAIA Division II National Playoff Football. The Peru State Bobcats and the University of Wisconsin Lacrosse, a 1 o'clock kickoff. You'll hear it here on KTNC.
Well, Slominski will tee it up again.
That's Phil, John.
Everybody's alert on the other side. And the kick's going to come down at about the 7-yard line. Peters with the ball. He tries to get to the outside, and he runs into Jeff Schwang and Tom Becker.
Schwang does a lot of things offensively right there. Peters learned about the defensive side of Jeff Schwang. That's the second time tonight that Schwang has kind of unloaded on Peters, the receiver out here, and this time knocking him out of bounds at the just short of the 25-yard line. Palmer will come over the ball 1st and 10.
You got a sick car, see the car doctor, and his servicemen at Cook's Auto Service and Used Cars in Dawson, Nebraska. They sell fine used cars and can do the mechanical job for you. Split the backs on 1st and 10 at the 24. Glaus drops, he looks, he scrambles, he cuts left. One man to beat it, Shawong. It's a race to the sideline now. Shawong catches him inside the 30 and down to about the 26.
Well, Glaus did a good job of running the football out to the left side. Got the corner turned outside of Shawong, but Shawong was able to come up and run him down from behind. Didn't know if that was going to happen or not, but he showed some pretty good speed there, Jeff, in getting to the quarterback and dropping him at the 26-yard line.
That's the biggest gain of the night for Palmer, a 30-yard pickup on the play. 1st and 10 at the Irish 26. And they still only got 74 yards rushing. Split the backs again. Glaus turns, fakes. No, he does give it off on the handoff. And Davis is going to be stacked up after a gain of maybe a yard.
John, that play exemplifies what I said earlier about the good job that the Palmer quarterback does of deceiving the defenders in there. Scott Hotsteins that time got the tackle for the Irish in the defensive line.
9.5 to play. The clock winding down on the football season here on Radio 1230. When you're a member of your family requires nursing home care, choose the care and comfort of Midland Villa, East 19th Street in Falls City. Split backs. Glaus will call the snap count again. 2nd down, this time and 9. Glaus straight back. He looks, he fires, incomplete.
Well, there's a little extracurricular activity. Maybe the frustration starting to set in just a little bit on the part of the receiver out there, Ken Peters. In fact, well after the play had unfolded, Peters grabbed Jared Kirkendall by the jersey and actually threw him to the turf. Very surprised not to see a flag out of a pocket on that, John.
We got a player for Palmer down out here on the field. We'll take a 30-second break and be right back. As Clayton Glaus, the quarterback for Palmer, he is up and he limps a little bit leaving the field, so perhaps not hurt too bad.
Ken Peters comes in at quarterback now, moves from his end position.
Peters turns. Oh, he's hit. The ball's loose. Still loose. And let's see. I think Palmer got it. Becker and Peters fighting for the ball. Boy, the Irish didn't take long to get up there in a blitzing formation.
John, I thought for a moment there that the referee was going to be recovered right along with the fumble there. The referee almost got in between the ball players and the football. He had to scramble to backpedal and get away from it. So Peters, who was in at quarterback for his first snap from center, fumbled the football. The big loss out to the 35-yard line. Punting situation for the Tigers.
I don't believe it again. Yep, they're going to punt it anyway. Spellbrink kicks the ball away, kicks it away from Jeff Shawong, and the ball takes a pretty good bounce and drops dead inside the 10-yard line. And the Irish will take over right there. I was just going to say, Randy, it'll be a bit of a relief for the Irish to get Ken Peters out there so they don't have to chase him anymore. And, boy, they no more got him in there at quarterback, and the Irish lined a couple of guys up to blitz, and he never even got turned around that time.
Well, John, there's 8 minutes and 27 seconds left in this high school football season for the Sacred Heart Irish. They have the game pretty much under control. 36-8 the score. Sacred Heart leads it. They come over the football. You've got a new quarterback in there, John.
That'll be Chris Darnell, the sophomore. Simon and Shawong, the backs, hand the ball to Simon. Simon runs out the right side. He'll be out to the 15 from the 9-yard line.
You ever wonder, John, what you start thinking if you're a basketball coach and you see athletes like Steve Simon out there running with the football? 36-8, the game in hand, 7 minutes to go in the season. Boy, when you're a basketball coach, you must really be nervous. I realize it's one and the same in Sacred Heart's case.
Yeah. I don't know. Steve Simon, it's hard to say. Well, he's going to have some decisions to make later on this year. Hand the ball off inside to Jeff Shawong, and Jeff Shawong will be dropped for a loss on the play back to the 14.
Getting in there to make the tackle that time for Palmer was Sanders, Dustin Sanders. Palmer's got a lot of underclassmen on this football team. We see 3 seniors there starting, but there's some juniors that have seen a lot of action. They may have a pretty tough football team next year again.
There come the Irish over the football now on 3rd down and 5 yards to go. Darnell turns. He keeps the ball in a little bootleg, and Chris Darnell looking for some place to go, and is finally going to be brought down out of bounds. And the camera folks better be on the alert over here now.
Darnell got maybe a yard on the play, gets the football out across the 15-yard line. Driving him out of bounds was David Samuelson. I want to compliment David Samuelson. He's made some good hits on the Irish tonight. Always the first kid to pat the guy on the back, offer the hand, and help him back to his feet. Samuelson's really shown some good sportsmanship out there tonight and played some good defense.
Darnell in punt formation now. Becker the center. Excellent snap. The left-footer kick is away. It'll come down at the 35, and with it is the number 40. That's Peters again. The ball's loose. The ball's loose. It's inbounds and recovered by Tony Davis.
Well, they're going to say the play was blown dead, John, I believe, down at the 36, but you wonder how the ball popped out of there when he was still up on his feet. We've got an injured player down for Sacred Heart out near midfield.
We will take a 30-second break and be back right after this. Slominski got a little bit of a cramp problem in his right calf out there. 1st down and 10 for Palmer from the Sacred Heart 36-yard line. Glaus back in at quarterback. He looks. He's intercepted by Jared Kirkendall. Interception number 6 on the night by the Irish defense. Number 2 for Jared Kirkendall.
Jared Kirkendall played it well, John. Got back in front of the intended receiver, then just stepped up, jumped up in front of the football, and made the interception at the 17-yard line. That's where they mark it. The Irish will have it there 1st and 10. The clock down now to 6.5 minutes and running. 6:27 to play in the football game. Again, the score 36-8. The Sacred Heart Irish on top.
Richardson County Bank and Trust Company, the bank putting you first with all of your banking needs, bringing you tonight's game. Member FDIC. Darnell gives the ball to Shawong. Shawong busted out across the 20 to about the 23-yard line.
Making the tackle was Randy Spellbrink. Spellbrink, despite the bruised thigh that we'd heard about, has played throughout most of the ball game this evening.
A pickup of 6 yards for Jeff Shawong.
Mers Farm Equipment is your Massey Ferguson dealer. They're ready to make a deal with you, so stop by Mers Farm Equipment in Fall City.
High formation for the Irish on 2nd and 4. Option play. Darnell keeps it. Darnell is going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 25 or 26-yard line up near a first down.
That was your NFL rules, John. They blew the play dead before Darnell got thrown to the turf, even before he was driven out of bounds. They'll just spot the ball out at the 27-yard line.
Record those important memories in your life on videotape with an RCA camcorder from Jack's TV and Appliance in Fall City. Well, let's see here.
Well, they're going to bring the chains in and take a measurement again, John, with 5:37 to play in the ball game. Sacred Heart on top, 36-8. Gives us a chance once again to invite all of our listeners here on KTNC to join us tomorrow afternoon for NAIA National Playoff Football. The Peru State Bobcats, the University of Wisconsin Lacrosse, will be live from the Oak Bowl in Peru. Jerry Joy and I will be on hand. A 1 o'clock kickoff. John, I can't wait.
It ought to be fun. It ought to be a nice day for it. Even if it's not, you'll be inside, so you don't have to worry.
The press facility is terrific. And I know a lady well at the college that takes pretty good care of the press up there.
Really?
She sure does. Sandwiches, coffee, pop. We're treated well at Peru State. The hospitality is great.
Third and less than a yard. Darnell option. Pitch play to Simon. He cuts inside. He cuts back inside. He'll have a first down and about 5 more yards.
John, there's going to be quite a cadre of press on hand for that game. We understand that all 3 television stations from Omaha are coming down to attend that one. Would you believe the major state newspapers have even taken notice of the fact that Peru State is playing? Plus, there's nothing going on in Lincoln, so they'll all be at Peru tomorrow afternoon. A lot of folks turning out. There should be a lot of coverage of that football game at Peru tomorrow. First down and 10, the Irish, the football just outside the 30-yard line.
5:09 to go. The clock winding down in the season as well. Darnell turns, option. He keeps it. He pitched it, and it's caught by Spellbrink. He's going to go in untouched for a touchdown.
Spellbrink intercepted the pitch out at the 30-yard line, took it 30 yards for the TD.
Well,
that's going to happen to you, John.
That'll happen once in a while. Give him credit. He made a good play.
That's right.
Chris Darnell in there, the sophomore quarterback, just an ill-advised pitch that time. The defense got right up there with him, and that makes it 36-14. If this had happened a quarter ago, it'd be a big play in the ball game, but right now it's just one of those plays the Irish wish hadn't happened. The extra point try is good as they throw to Peters, and it's 36-16. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Whoops.
Football from both of the school systems, the Sacred Heart Irish and the Fall City Tigers. I'll tell you, my hat's off to all these athletes and the coaches involved. This has been a fun football season. I got here just in time for it, John.
Just in time. Well,
add to that what the Bobcats have done, and this has been a pretty good time.
Pretty good football here around this area. Well, I'll tell you what, here in just a little bit, we got Simon, Shawong, and Kirkendall back deep. And the onside kick picked up by Becker, I believe. I'll tell you what, you don't want to let Tom Becker run very far to the football because he'll outrun everybody.
There's a situation where Becker almost turned the tables on him. They're trying an onside kick, figuring Becker will fall on it. He fields the ball and almost squirted through the line. He could have been off to the races, John.
Becker, as I understand, is the 4th fastest player out there behind Simon, Shawong, and Slominski.
John, I've never seen an onside kick ran back for a touchdown, but that's as close as you're ever going to see.
Slominski did it this year.
Wow.
Slominski did that this year against one of the teams. Split a man out wide to the right. Darnell gives the ball to Shawong. Shawong busting a tackle, and he'll have about 10 more yards.
Finally dropping Shawong was Tony Davis. Tony Davis dropped him after he got inside the 30-yard line, but again, as it's been the case so many times, Shawong was just one man away from going the distance.
I'll tell you what's going to happen here before very long tonight. You're going to see Steve Simon and Jeff Shawong get their final Sacred Heart carries. And then maybe some applause will be forthcoming for these two outstanding backs. Give the ball to Simon. Right up the middle goes Steve Simon, and he'll have about 5 more.
As we near the bottom of the hour, John, let's remind everyone that this is KTNC Radio 1230 in Fall City, Nebraska.
It'll bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Irish. Kent Kanabe is now alternating in there at an end for Sacred Heart. Bringing in plays. Josh Slominski trying to get his leg loosened up over here on the sideline. Charlie horse or cramp of some sort. I formation. Darnell turns, gives to Simon. He cuts outside. He's got a block. He springs away and is going to be dropped inside the 20-yard line.
Devon Kerr's the man that dropped to Steve Simon, not before he got inside the 15-yard line. We've got an official timeout. Another football player with a leg cramp down there reaching for the calf. You know, John, another neat thing here, 3:47 to go in the game, 36-16. A lot of young men are going to get it
left. It's going to be a fun time here in a little bit. Said a very big crowd on hand. I haven't seen anybody leave. Of course, we can't see the crowd real well, but
there's a bunch of them.
There's a lot of them still here. Be interesting to get an attendance figure. As far as a post game, Randy and I will give you a wrap after the ball game. Of course, Sacred Heart has to leave the field, go back up to Sacred Heart to get dressed after the ball game. So we won't have an opportunity to visit tonight with Doug Goltz, but I'll be going up and talking with him and some of the players, and we'll have that for you tomorrow morning here on Radio 1230. Hand the ball to Simon. Right up the middle he goes. He'll finally be dropped inside the 5 at about the 4-yard line.
Steve Simon just added about another 7 or 8 yards to that already unbelievable total of yardage that he has gained as a prepster here at Sacred Heart.
7 yards for Simon on the play that time. In comes Darnell and Kirkendall. 3:20 to play in the ball game. And the Irish threatening once again. 36-16 the score. Split the backs on 2nd and 3. The ball's on the 5-yard line. Darnell gives the ball to Simon, and Simon will be, Simon fumbled the ball.
Touchdown!
Touchdown. Kirkendall picked up the fumble and scored.
Simon was fighting near the goal line to try and get into the end zone. The ball popped up loose, and waiting there for it was Jared Kirkendall. Kirkendall with the touchdown. He'll get credit for the carry.
Jared pretty heavy. He got 5 yards. Says, Steve, take that. Take that. I got your touchdown that time. Jared comes out of the ball game now.
You suppose Steve Simon will remember the final approach to the goal line? What a deal. Jared Kirkendall with a touchdown.
Well, now we line up for the 2-point try. 3:01 left to go in the ball game. 42-16. Darnell back. He throws. It's complete to 21. Kent Kanabe makes the catch, and that makes it 44-16. Sacred Heart leads, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Once again, we have no updates. Elkhorn Mount Michael, the champions in Class B tonight. Now back to John Nixon and Randy Gattula at the Jug Brown Stadium.
Okay, thank you, Tim Bailey. And again, Elkhorn Mount Michael, crowned state champions in Class B. They defeated Columbus Lakeview 14-7. And boy, I'll tell you what, old Geneva, they are putting a hurting on Fremont 54-0. I think Tim said in the 4th quarter with about 4 minutes to go.
No 10-run rule in that one, John.
No, that's unfortunate. Well, it's tough to go that far and get beat by a score like that, isn't it? Here's the kick, and I believe it's going to be John Kirkendall or Mike. Let's check the number here. 71 kicked off. The ball brought down. Tony Davis with it. He returns the ball out across the 30-yard line.
Making the stop on Tony Davis was Jared Kirkendall. Kirkendall drags him down at the 33-yard line. That's where they'll spot it. 2 minutes, 53 seconds left to play in this football game. The score 44-16. The Sacred Heart Irish on top and on their way to yet another state championship in high school football.
Mike Huppert did the kicking that time. And the Irish are making some changes in there defensively. Palmer has the ball, 1st and 10. They're at their own 33-yard line now. Glaus back, he looks, and Kirkendall just about had interception number 7 on the night for the Irish.
Ken Peters was the intended receiver down near the 1st down yardage at about the 38 of Sacred Heart, but again, a very close call there. Jared Kirkendall almost with the 3rd intercept of the evening for him.
Matt Bletcher will leave the ball game now. He'll come out of there.
Bruce State College helping to present tonight's broadcast. They invite you to be on hand tomorrow afternoon as the Bobcats take on the University of Wisconsin lacrosse.
2:35 to play. Split the backs. Glaus turns. He hands the ball to Davis. Davis goes right up the middle, and the tackle is made at about the 35.
A C on the bottom of the pile getting up there for Sacred Heart. Tom Becker, as we've seen so many times, making the stop on him. 2:20 to go in the ball game, John. 3rd down now. We're going to have timeout taken by Palmer.
We have that 2:15 left, 44-16 the score. Sacred Heart with the lead, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. They've had nothing but success on the athletic field, and what I understand, they've got nothing but success in the classroom as well. Here's a duck up, and a tip ball. No, it's incomplete. I thought it was a great catch. Darnell tipped the ball, and it was almost caught.
Chris Darnell almost had the intercept. Then it got through his fingertips and into the hand of the intended receiver, who almost caught it there off the ground, but the pass does fall incomplete.
Well, we've got 2:09 to play. Of course, the incomplete passes stopped everything. 4th down now and 6. Darnell will drop back deep with Kirkendall to receive the punt. The punt goes straight up. It's rolling sideways. Now it rolls straight and picked up by Darnell. Darnell comes back up the field, and he'll be dropped down at about the 26-yard line.
Chris Darnell with kind of a gutsy move, grabbed that football with a couple of defenders right around him, brought it up the field 7 or 8 yards, and has it outside the 25-yard line. That's where the Irish will have it 1st and 10 with 1:57 seconds to go in the ball game.
I'll tell you what, Chris Darnell is going to be a heck of an option quarterback for Sacred Heart the next 2 years. Sacred Heart calls timeout with 1:56 left to play, and we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Is he going to put in a different offense?
I think he'll probably put those guys in, maybe bring them out a play at a time.
At American National Bank.
There goes Simon back onto the field.
Around same, Doug Goltz coming off the field. Tom Becker just left the ball game along with Matt Bletcher. They got their round of applause here at the stadium. Hand the ball to Simon. Simon is going to be dropped after a gain of a couple on the play. The Irish taking over at their own 28-yard line.
1:44 to play in the football game, John. The clock is running. Again, the score 44-16. The Irish on top.
Well, here comes some different. Here comes Jeff Shawong off the field.
Listen to this cheer.
Jeff Shawong leaves the field for Sacred Heart for the final time, closing out another chapter in championship history. Darnell turns, gives the ball to Jared Kirkendall, and Jared Kirkendall will pick up about 4 yards running the ball straight ahead.
Clock continues to run, John. 1:07 to go in the ball game.
Well, I would guess the next one off will probably be Steve Simon.
Here he comes.
You know, Randy, somehow I just have a feeling that you might see Steve Simon down the road in another football uniform somewhere.
Could happen.
Turn, hand the ball off straight up the middle to Jared Kirkendall. He busts into the backfield across the midfield stripe and down to the 32 of Palmer.
Jared Kirkendall says, hey, I'm a junior. I still have things to do here, and running well.
Jared picks up about 18 yards. I'll tell you what, Jared did a great job running the ball this year, particularly last year. This year he has been in there and hasn't picked up a lot of yards. Josh Sleminski getting a lot of yards this year. But I'll tell you what, Jared Kirkendall is a fine running back. Hand the ball off again to Kirkendall. No, it's on the ground. It's loose on a pitch play. It's picked up by Palmer. And the tackle is made by Mike Witt of Sacred Heart.
So with 18 seconds to play, the Palmer Tigers will get the football at their own 35-yard line, just outside their own 35. They'll have it there 1st and 10. And we've got a timeout taken by the Sacred Heart Irish.
Well, we've got just 18 seconds to go. Let's just keep it here this time. The crowd is, well, they're not really leaving. They're getting down there around the table where the championship trophies will be awarded here in a little bit. That's
John, I think you covered a minute ago when you said what's left to say about this group.
As he is with them great big hands he's got. He'd be an outstanding receiver. Well, here we go. 18 seconds left. Quarterback up. We've got some movement along the line, and the officials throw a flag. Their last hurrah for the year, too.
I mentioned earlier tonight about another senior, Adam Freschel, the defensive game that he had against Humphrey St. Francis. Then you look down, you realize Adam only weighs 153 pounds. He was out there taking on some pretty good-sized running backs and dropping them in their tracks.
Does a great job. Kent Kanabi, for those of you that don't know, Kent Kanabi is going to be the poster boy up there when you get to Lincoln this year for the state basketball tournament. The Irish are looking forward, I think, to a return trip there. I know that'd be their goal. Kent's going to be on the cover of the media guide this year. And here's the pass play. The pass intercepted by Darnell. Down the side, he got a great block. He breaks a tackle. He breaks another tackle. Still on his feet and inside the 15-yard line.
Mentioning seniors, don't forget Brandon Deerfeld, the job that he's done in the offensive line there for Sacred Heart. Bart Keller didn't play a whole bunch, but we saw Bart get a touchdown in the state playoffs. That was fun.
Bart played a big role last weekend at Coleridge when Deerfeld was hurt. Bart has played an outstanding role this year for the Irish as well.
Bart Keller scoring the touchdown. That had to be one of the more enjoyable things we saw down here in the south end zone.
Mr. Touchdown now.
Mr. Touchdown it is. There's the ball game, John.
That's it. They let the clock run out, and Sacred Heart wins another state championship.
40.
Senior, 21.
Let's go, Simon!
Number 66, Bart Keller. Good job, Mike. John Kirkendall.
Yeah, baby! Go! Nice hit,
How are we going to get them all in?
I don't know. Tight.
Stay right there, guys.
Get tight.
Doug, move in just a tap.